Good Friday, everybody, and welcome to the jungle. Sorry for a little bit of hesitation in the time today. I tried using like a different streaming service that does go on to YouTube, um, but still gotta play around with it a little more. It's called StreamYard. I know it's pretty familiar with a lot of you guys, for a lot of you guys, but um, anyways, had to pop off there, come back over here. So we've had some growth in the YouTube channel. The last couple of days, we've added about 100 subscribers, so I'm pretty grateful for that. I'm very grateful for that. Very thankful. So let's do our best to grow the jungle together. Come on in, say hi. Once you're in here, say hi. Let me know who's in here. Sharon Stokes, where you at? I know we got picks today. 0-3 yesterday on our YouTube plays. That happens, ladies and gentlemen. That happens as part of the game, part of the business. Um, the idea is to win 58% of your games and to stay between the odds of minus 130, plus 130, somewhere around there. So that's just part of the game, boys and girls. Don't get too high with the highs. Don't get too low with the lows. Stay the course. Manage your bankroll, and you're going to be okay. Don't parlay. Man, I hate parlays. Damn. All right, so we got 7 games to get to in the NBA today. Let's start with the Pacers and the 76ers. Pacers +6, over-under set at 228.5. Now, I know the Pacers +6 are a very popular play today, but the Sixers are starting to get it together a little bit. Embiid's starting to score again. I think that Tyrese Maxey's a strong play today. I wouldn't take the Pacers with the 6. I would actually lean the Sixers minus the 6. I'm actually liking that a lot. Over under at 228.5. I'd play the over. Philadelphia starting to score a lot more. Kelly Oubre settling into more of what his role should be instead of a front scorer. And yeah, like I said, Embiid scoring. He's not the Embiid of old. That's for darn sure. But Maxey's settling in. Paul George is making some shots. He's had a couple of 20-point games. They're starting to score. I would go Sixers minus the 6. I also like rookie Jared McCain of Philly. I like him today over 100. I'm sorry. Yeah, not definitely like him under 100. I like him over 14.5 points plus assists. He's over this in 8 of his last 10. I like him better coming off the bench than I did as a starter with Maxey. Once there's a little bit of information on how to cover him, you saw his numbers start to come down as a starter when he was starting for Maxey. But I do like him coming off the bench. I like him a lot more. 100 points, man. Yeah. I like him a lot more with his lines, the 14.5 points and assists coming off the bench, playing against second tier, playing against bench players on the opposing teams than I do as starters minutes. He's definitely going to stay under 100 points, but I like him today over 14.5 points and assists. I also like Miles Turner over 6.5 rebounds. Now, ordinarily, I'm not a Miles Turner prop guy because he's very inconsistent, but that 6.5 rebound line is nice and sitting at minus 120 over on Fanatics. Over this in 8 of his last 10 games. He's not going to get 5. He might hook you at 6, but I think he's going to get 7 or 8. He's been rebounding a little bit more than he has in the past. So I do like I like Miles Turner over 6.5 rebounds. I like Jared McCain in his bench role over 14.5 points and assists. I like the over 228.5, and I like the Philadelphia Sixers minus the 6. That plus 6 seems like kind of a trap to me. A lot of people are looking at that, a lot of cappers even. Professional capper saying, the Pacers +6, they score. There's a reason, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why. I think it's a trap. Take the Sixers, lay the 6. My poor Wizards +17.5 today against Cleveland. God help them. Kyle Kuzma's out. Now, there's rumors that Kuzma's going to get moved. I think he will. Golden State. There's always rumors that everyone's going to Golden State. It's that rumors he's going to Golden State. I think that Phoenix wants him. Phoenix wants everybody, but he's going to be gone there. He's out today. They don't want to get him hurt. Corey Kispert is also out for Washington. Points are going to be very, very hard to come by. I would not take anybody on the Cleveland side of things because this game has massive blowout potential. So I'd stay away from anybody. On the Cavs side, I wouldn't take the plus 17.5 or the -7. I would stay away completely from that spread. Over under at 232.5. I would lean toward the over, believe it or not. I think that Cleveland could put up 140 in this game. There's one prop bet, though, that I'm really interested in, and it's blowout proof in this game. And there's a guy on Washington that I've backed a lot this season, and I've hit 3 out of 5 on him, but I'm kinda learning how to play him. I like this kid a lot. Do you know who it is? Let me know in the comments if you know who it is. I'm gonna talk about him a little more. He's a young guy. Let me know in the comments if you think you know who it is and what the bet is. He's a young guy for Washington, and he's blowout proof because he's 10th. He's top 10. I think he's 7th in the NBA in minutes played. He stays in even when the blowouts are happening because they want to get him all the experience that they can. Does that say Bill or Balil? I don't know who the hell Bill is, but you might be onto some with Bill Kubali, Balil Kubali. Yeah. So there's some EV, some expected value, Jungle Nation on his over points today, 10.5. I'm staying away from that. He hasn't really gotten into the groove shooting yet in the NBA. He's going to get the minutes, but his assist prop is always 2.5, and he's always over. He's over an 85% this season, but it's juiced as can be. Okay. His rebounds prop is usually 4.5, 5.5, but that's juiced too. But there's a prop sitting there, ladies and gentlemen. The over 7.5 rebounds and assists. I love it. It's minus 125. Yep, cool Bali. It's minus 125 right now over on Fanatics, I believe. I wouldn't play it beyond minus 130, but damn, Balil Cool Bali. I sent this out to my jungle members earlier today, so they took advantage of that price. But Balil Koulibaly over 7.5 rebounds and assists, smash it. My guess is he's going to get 4 assists, and my guess is he's going to get 6 rebounds. I think he's going to hit 10. That's just what he does. He's getting the minutes, and no one else is playing for Washington. Everyone's hurt, man. So he's going to get the minutes no matter what happens. I like him, man. I call those hustle stats. They're hustle props, the rebounds and assists. Cool Bali, love it. Over 7.5 rebounds and assists. Stay far, far away from anything else in this game for the love of God. All right. Hornets plus 6.5 against the Bulls. Over under is set at 231.5. The Bulls give up more points than anybody in the association. The Hornets are LaMelo Ballless. Isn't it a shame, man, that he's out so much because he's one of the best. I believe, and you can call me a silly Willie. I believe that he's a top 5 player in the NBA when he's healthy. He just can beat you in so many ways. Um, he's John Morant without the dunks, but a better shooter. I love LaMelo Ball. It's a shame he's out. Brandon Miller is a great scorer. His line's at 26.5 today. I think that's a little high, but I wouldn't fade it. Miles Bridges comes back today, and there's a prop that I like on him. Now, I don't think he'll have a big minutes restriction. He should get 32 minutes, in my opinion. But I like him today over 8.5 rebounds and assists. I also like Zach LaVine. He's been scoring a lot. He's kind of returning to the Zach LaVine of old. I like Zach LaVine today over 22.5 points. I would lean toward the Bulls side of things. Well, LaMelo Ball, I think they're gonna have a hard time. I think they're gonna have a hard time stopping Vucevic in the paint, but I think that his points is a little bit too high, so I stayed away from that. So I would lean Bulls laying the points, and I'd lead toward the over 231.5 in this game here. Now we're going Lakers and Minnesota T-Wolves. Lakers plus 8.5. LeBron James is out. Aren't we also sad for him? Over under set at 213.5. That's a low total. Anthony Davis is a game time decision. He's always a game time decision, but he'll probably will play. Traditionally, he's struggled mightily when he goes up against Rudy Gobert. T-Bone, what's up? But he struggles mightily against Rudy Gobert. Big time, man. And his points line is 30.5. Like, what's that line? That line, in my humble opinion, should be 28.5. So I'm on the under For AD, 30.5 here. Of course, if he doesn't play, the bet gets voided and you don't lose anything. But I think AD under 30.5 is a prime play here. I would lay it with the Timberwolves. I'd lay the 8.5 with the Timberwolves. I would go toward the over total in this game. I also like this play too. I like Anthony Edwards over 3.5 3-pointers. I know it seems like a high number, but Ant Edwards over 3.5 threes. Pinnacle has it at minus 150. And those of you who follow me on a regular basis, you're sick to death of me talking about Pinnacle. But there are 3 sports books that are very sharp, that don't limit high stake players, that set the tone and set the lines for all the other books. Then books take that and do what they want with it. But it's Pinnacle, Bookmaker, and Circa. Now, Pinnacle has this at minus 150. You can get it for minus 125 on most books. Anthony Edwards over 3.5 threes. He's over this in 5 of his last 6 games, takes more threes than most people in the association. He's top 5 in 3-point attempts. You wouldn't think so, but he is. He's taken over 9 a game. And he's a guy, he likes to score, man, especially in these games. He's a show-up game. He shows up and shows out in these kind of games that are high-profile games. And no matter how bad the Lakers are, and as Chuck Barkley says, Lakers stink, man. As bad as they are, he's going to want to beat the Lakers today best he can. I like Anthony Edwards over 3.5 3-pointers. Anthony Edwards under 30.5. The Timberwolves laying the 8.5 and the over 213.5. Brooklyn Nets versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Isn't it amazing how much difference a player can make? Ja Morant has come back to the Grizzlies, and they are a contender. As much of a fake gangster as he is and all the stuff that he's annoying about, he's incredible. He's an incredible talent. He's worth the price of admission. He's Showtime. He's everything. He's everything that is. What's interesting about the Grizzlies is Desmond Bane. Now, Desmond Bane, the NBA players, and I always pay attention to those polls, the NBA players voted who they think the top 3 shooters were last season in the league, and Desmond Bane was on there. It was Steph, Dame Lillard, and Desmond Bane. But since he's come back from his injury, man, he hasn't been the same. So you don't want to back his points props, and they're tempting you, they're teasing you, because traditionally Desmond Bane's points props have been like 19.5, 22, up to 22.5. They're sitting at 14.5, 15.5, but he's just not comfortable shooting the ball yet. So I wouldn't fade that low of a line, but make sure you're cautious. Stay away from them. Ja Morant's props. One thing's true is that his assists are always going to be there. Over 7.5 assists today is my favorite play on the board for Ja. Decent prices all over the board. They were this morning when I sent them to Jungle members. You can become a Jungle member, silverbackjungle.com. Get my full betting card pinged to your phone every day, as well as full access to me 24/7. Any game you're considering betting, I'll give you my opinion if you want it. If you don't, I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But it's fun because we have a Discord. We chat in the Discord. I digress. Silverbackjungle.com would love to have you as a member. But Ja Morant over 7.5 assists, man, big time today. I'm all over that play. His points prop, he's always going to dish and get his assists. When they're down, when they're in trouble, is when he ordinarily shoots. And I don't see it happening in this game today against the Nets. Nets are plus 10. So I ordinarily tend to go to his assist props, but especially today, I would back away from his points. People tend to think that because the Nets are an inferior team, that's when you're going to back Ja's points, but that's when he tends to really kind of dish the most and not really want to shoot against those inferior teams. So stay away from Ja's points, but back is over 7.5 assists. Love that play today. Jaren Jackson Jr. is someone who I swore off last season because he's very frustrating to bet on. And sometimes you hear people say, I'm never going to bet this guy again. I've learned, that never and always are a long time. Opportunities present themselves, and this is one of them. I'm 2-1 so far this season on Jaren Jackson's props. On the contrary, he excels against bad teams. Nick Claxton's a foul machine, center for the Nets. He should get to the line today. But over 18.5 points is low-hanging fruit today for Jaren Jackson, in my opinion. He's shooting 15 times a game. He's taking 3-pointers a game. And he really excels against these teams here, these kind of low-level teams. So I like Jaren Jackson over 18.5 points. I like Ja Morant over 7.5 assists. Stay away from the short-armed Desmond Bane, please. He's built like a running back. It's weird he's a basketball player. I can't get over that. I would lay the 10 with the Grizzlies, and I would go over 228.5 in terms of lines. Guys, in the comments, anything you want me to answer for you, any questions you have, any comments you have, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them before we pop off today. We got the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Clippers are plus 6.5. Over-unders at 227.5. There's a prop that I like here that's worth a look. I haven't taken it, but it's James Harden over 5.5 rebounds for plus money. His rebounds props are always interesting because you never know what kind of hustle you're going to get from James Harden. Points are always, I tend to stay on the underside of his points. I'm more fade Harden than I do take him. But his assist line is always too high for me because he's so inconsistent with that. But his rebound stats, man, 5.5 for plus money. He's a cat that could get 8, 9, 10 rebounds in some clips. So I like Harden over 5.5 rebounds. I like the Clippers plus 6.5. The Nuggets aren't the juggernaut that they were. Ty Lue has a Clippers playing pretty well. They have a winning record. Amir Coffey is shooting the ball okay. Norman Powell is shooting the ball okay. I like the Clip plus 6.5. I would also lean toward the under 227.5 in this game. Most Nuggets games tend to lend themselves to the under. We got the Suns and the Utah Jazz. Utah is plus 4.5 over under. It's set at 231.5. I like the over here. And here's a bold move, ladies and gentlemen. I like Utah on the money line plus 275. Utah has so much talent with Keontae George, Colin Sexton, Walker Kessler, Johnny Collins. They have Jordan Clarkson. They have a ton of talent. Sometimes they put it together, Laura Markkanen, Laura Markkanen. Sometimes they put it together and play as a team. They play much better at home than they do on the road. The Suns are a mess. Kevin Durant's a game-time decision. They can't figure it out. And these are games, the Suns tend to play better in big-time games. These are games that Devin Booker can take a little bit his foot off the gas pedal, I guess you could say, with. He doesn't really play well in these games where they're expected to win. I like the Jazz, man, for plus money, plus 275. Buy the ticket, take the ride. Let's go. Let me know in the comments if you're with me here. I think the Jazz can put it together and get them. But I also like Walker Kessler of the Jazz over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, he's over his rebounds line very often, but he's been over his PRA line his last 5 games, 8 of his last 10. And the reason I like that is because his points line's low, his assist line low, is he always gets a ton of rebounds, but what hits the most for him is his PRAs because his assist line's only over 1.5, and he can get 3, 4. He's very rarely gotten 0. He sometimes gets 1. So the ceiling outweighs the basement in terms of adding to assists. With points, his shot percentage is so high because it's all dunks. He's shooting only 6, 7 times a game, but he's shooting 80%. He's making 80% of those baskets because it's such high percentage stuff. So PRA is where you want to be on Walker Kessler today over 22.5. I also like Tyus Jones of the Suns over 11.5 points. He's been shooting a ton more. He's over this in 8 of his last 10. He's taken 11 shots a game. He's getting over 32 minutes. As Devin Booker starts to run point along with him, when they're both out there, they take turns bringing the ball up. Tyus Jones is getting a little bit more, he came into a team. What's up, Dave King? He came into a team of stars, and when he was with Washington, I think that he felt like the man, right? But now he came to Phoenix, and with a team of stars, he kind of took a backseat, but he's starting to step up a little bit and play with confidence. And he's really shooting the ball a lot more. His assists are going down, but his points are going up. I like Tyus Jones today over 11.5, so I'm on him and Walker Kessler over 22.5 PRA, the over 231.5. And we're taking Utah on the money line, baby, plus 275. Final game of the day. All right, where's Agent Butt? Sun smashed tonight. Beal for Butler. You think, interesting. Did that happen, or is that something that you're predicting? Agent Agent Burt, man. I like Agent Burt too. He's funny, isn't he? Oh, you want it to happen. Yeah, Agent Burt, bro. Officer Burt hasn't been in hasn't been in the live, man. We have got to goat him to get him in here. He's the best. Um, you want that to happen. You want Butler to go to Phoenix. I don't know if Phoenix needs one more superstar. That's kind of a headache. I don't know if he make a big difference there. Um, but you like the Suns smashing tonight. I got Utah on the money line. The cool thing is that one of us has to win. So that's good. Last game of the day. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to opine on before we head out and prepare for our TikTok show at 4:00. But we got the Spurs -2.5 versus Portland. Portland's in rough shape, man. I like the Spurs -2.5 here. Over under 224.5. I would lean toward the over here. Devin Vassell, there's some massive EV on his under under 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's under this at 89.6% of the year. I know that San Antonio has some guards out, and Zach Collins is out, but he's just not really stuffing the stat sheet like he did last year. I also like Victor Wembanyama. I like him over 24.5 points. I haven't bet it yet, but if you're looking for a play here, I like Victor over 24.5. I like DV under 22.5 PRA. I like the over 224.5. And I like the Spurs laying at 2.5. Ladies and gentlemen, about to pop off, but anything you want me to opine on or any comments you have before I get going and prepare for TikTok, I'll be over on TikTok at 4:00 p.m. Eastern time. I hope to see you over there, Silverback Bets, but let me know if there's anything that you want me to cover before we take off here. All right, Jungle Nation, appreciate you. Favorite three picks, my favorite three. So, Dave, here's my question. All right. So, Bills Lions, we're gonna get to that. I'm from Buffalo, man. So, you're asking the right guy here. But so my favorite three picks today. My favorite pick is John Morant over 7.5 assists. I like Walker Kessler over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I like Tyus Jones too, over 11.5 points. I also like Jaren Jackson Jr. over 18.5 points. What do I think of Bills and Lions? You've brought me back in, brother. So I am from Buffalo. I know this team very well. The Bills do not like physical teams, physical football. They don't play well against physical teams, and their defense is overinflated. I like the Lions in this game. I like the over Jahmyr Gibbs rushing yards. I like Amon St. Brown over receiving yards. I think the Lions do them dirty, brother. I'd take the Lions any way you can, and I would take Jahmyr Gibbs as well. Yo, my friends, have a great day. I look forward to seeing you. Well, I have the videos out there Saturday and Sunday, but I'll see you live again. I'm enjoying the live shows. Thanks a lot, man. Share it with everyone you can who might enjoy the content that we put out there. And I will see you Monday for the live show, but I'll see you over the weekend with the videos as well. Peace.